Margaret Atwood's Oryx and Crake. Wow. This book really boils down to two huge, kind of terrifying questions. What happens when our science outpaces our morality? And what's left after humanity has basically engineered its own end? So today, we're going to dive into this chillingly plausible future and unpack the warnings at the very heart of this world after us. Right from the opening lines, you're just dropped into this world that feels quiet, broken, and deeply unsettling. We're on a desolate beach with a man who is just haunted by his past. And you immediately have to ask yourself, what on earth happened here? So, we meet this lone survivor. He calls himself Snowman. He's the last man, or at least he thinks he is, living in the ruins of our civilization. And for him, every single moment is a struggle, not just to survive, but to keep from being completely crushed by the weight of his own memory. Snowman's daily life is this strict, brutal routine. Find some food, avoid the bizarre new predators, and just whisper words from a dead language to himself just so he can hear a human voice. But his biggest challenge isn't the hunger or the danger. It's trying to piece together the shattered fragments of his memory, to understand how he got here, and why he is so utterly alone. And yeah, this world is not empty. It's been repopulated by the leftovers of genetic science run wild. You've got vicious wolvogs hunting in the ruins, eerily intelligent pigoons, originally designed to grow human organs, now roaming free, and these luminous green rabbits hopping through the dusk. This isn't just nature anymore. It's nature remixed by humanity. And honestly, it is terrifying. To figure out how the world ended, we've got to go back, way back. Back to when Snowman was just a boy named Jimmy, and his best friend was this detached, frighteningly brilliant kid named Crake. Their friendship, man, it's the very axis on which the old world just completely shatters. At the heart of the story, you've got these two totally opposite forces. Jimmy was the word person. He was all about feeling, art, history. Crake, on the other hand, was the numbers person. Pure logic, science, and systems. So while Jimmy was looking back with this kind of sadness, Crake was looking forward with a cold, calculating vision. One was the heart, the other was the brain, and you just know they were on a collision course. Their world was split right down the middle. The rich and the brilliant, like them, they lived in these corporate compounds, basically gated, sterile communities run by biotech firms. Everyone else, they were left to the plebeians, the chaotic, violent, and polluted cities. It was a world of walls, both real and ideological. So what did these brilliant kids do for fun inside their safe little bubble? Well, it's pretty dark. They played games like Extinctathon, where extinction literally became a high score. They watched live executions online like it was just another sport, and they played Blood and Roses, a game where, a lot of the time, destroying civilization was the winning move. Desensitization was basically their childhood hobby. And this one exchange between them, it just says it all. Jimmy sees humanity's flaws on this individual, emotional level. But Crake, he sees humanity as a data set, a species-level problem that needs to be solved. For him, the fate of individuals is completely irrelevant, and that is a chilling glimpse into his mind. And that kind of thinking, it absolutely flourished inside the compounds. This was a world where science wasn't just about discovery, it was about profit and power, with almost zero ethical oversight. If you could imagine it, you could engineer it. No questions asked. You had companies like Organic and Farms, where Jimmy's dad worked, creating creatures like the pigoons, that's pigs spliced with human DNA to grow perfect organ transplants. Genetic splicing wasn't just science, it was a product line, something to be branded and sold, from custom pets to advanced weapons. And the whole attitude behind it is perfectly captured in this thought. The power to create and destroy life was treated with the casual arrogance of a hobby. There was this profound hubris in the compounds, a belief that they hadn't just mastered nature, but that they had the right to completely rewrite it. So, where does all this lead? It all comes together in Crake's secret masterpiece, the Paradise Project. He grows up to be the most brilliant mind of his generation, and he pours every ounce of that intellect into a single, world-altering goal. The public face of the whole thing was a pill called Bliss Plus. It was marketed as the ultimate lifestyle drug, the answer to humanity's biggest complaints. It promised to make everyone happy, healthy, and sexually satisfied forever. So check out the promises: total immunity from all STDs, an unlimited libido, you stay young forever. Sounds amazing, right? It was irresistible.
But hidden inside this perfect little package was a Trojan horse, a silent, airborne virus engineered to do one thing: wipe the slate clean, to erase humanity from the planet.
In Crake's own words, his logic is just terrifyingly simple. He saw humanity as a failed experiment, plagued by jealousy, violence, and a self-destructive streak. His solution? End the game. Break the chain. Eliminate one generation, and the problem is solved. Forever. So what takes our place? His replacements? The children of Crake, or Crakers. They are perfectly engineered beings. They're peaceful, naive, and have absolutely no concept of the things Crake believed were our downfall. No religion, no art, no jealousy, no want. They're basically a biological reboot. And that brings us right back to Snowman, shivering in the ruins. Now we get it. We understand who he is. Jimmy, the sole human survivor of Crake's plague, intentionally left behind for one specific, terrible purpose. Crake made Jimmy immune to the virus and then left him there to be this reluctant shepherd for his new species. He is the only link the Crakers have to their creator and their past. A broken prophet for a people who literally can't understand the world he lost. And this creates the ultimate contrast. Snowman is just drowning in the complexities of being human. Grief, art, language, love. Meanwhile, the Crackers are living in this state of perfect, simple innocence, with no past and no need for the very things that defined us. He's like a walking library of emotions for a people who can't even read. And here's the deepest, most twisted irony of it all. The world Crake created is beautiful. It's a peaceful, green paradise. For Snowman, that's the ultimate torture. To live in this beautiful new Eden that's built on the graves of everyone and everything he ever loved. At the end of the day, Snowman isn't just a man. He's a living archive. Every word he remembers, every song, every feeling of love or regret, it's the last copy in existence. When he dies, that's when humanity truly goes extinct. And we can't ignore the ghost at the absolute center of this whole tragedy, Oryx. She was this enigmatic woman loved by Jimmy and studied, almost dissected by Crake. Her own life story, one of exploitation and survival, is basically a microcosm for the abused world they all lived in. Her memory is the human face of everything that was lost. And so we're left with this massive, unsettling question. Was Crake a mass-murdering monster who committed the greatest crime in history? Or was he a cold, logical visionary who saved the planet from a self-destructive species? The novel doesn't give us an easy answer. And you know what? That, perhaps, is the most terrifying warning of all.